It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. Joining me in the studio now, a guy who's been on the show a number of times, Allen Farst. Allen, how are you? It's been a minute.
It's good. I came quick into the parking lot, but I am here and present.
Well, I appreciate it. Allen is a filmmaker. When he was on before, we were talking about a couple of projects you've been working on, specifically the Dayton Triangle movie that you did about the first NFL team. That made its big debut a couple of years ago. I saw it. It was spectacular. They didn't you have a viewing at the Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, we got around the state. We had about 14 or so sellouts. Went great.
Yeah.
And we went kind of, here, Columbus, all the way to Canton. And that was special to be up there that night to present the film to the community there, because we had found so many treasures that were from the families that were here. We found necklaces and stadium balls that were metal, and these families had all these treasures basically somewhere in their house that they knew about. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to make the film, because once I started to do the work and found out that all this stuff existed, I was like, we got a movie here. Let's share this with people that love the NFL, love football.
Well, you nailed it. I mean, it was just great. And I remember when you were here before, we had talked about the fact that back in the centennial celebration of flight, when I worked at Channel 7 at the time, I did a documentary on the Wright Brothers. Actually, it ended up winning an Edward R. Murrow Award.
Congrats.
For that. And we were kind of talking on the way out, and you said, well, I've got something that I'm working on, but I don't want to say too much. But you were in the early stages. But now here you are on the show talking about the flying machine.
The flying machine.
This is great.
It's a major motion picture, so it's a feature film, right? And when you look at it, and anybody that's listening tonight, I mean, how many of you have seen a feature film on the Wright Brothers?
There hasn't been.
No,
there hasn't been. I mean, I've seen like docudrama, like there's something out at one of the Wright Brothers historical places here in Dayton.
A little mini film.
It's like a little film, but it's not like a big motion picture. No. It's just kind of a quick little, this is what happened.
It's never been done. And, that's why I'm here tonight. I'm here to educate the public that, hey, we got to step up. This is one I want to do. We need the support. We need people to go to our website, check it out, see all the fun things and how they can reach out to us and participate at flyingmachinemovie.com. But it's our job as to be the stewards of this town, right? We're the guard that's here now. And for almost 125 years, flight has been around. In 2028, it will be the 125th anniversary. And nobody's made a movie about this.
That is strange to me. And I know at some point, wasn't there some talk with
Tom Hanks?
Well, Tom Hanks and he got the rights from the book.
That was McCullough's book.
David McCullough.
They did that around your documentary and my documentary that time of
that's right.
Around 100 Years of Flight, and Tom's just never made it. And I've always had it on the back of my mind, but I feel like I can really tell the story well because I'm here. I'm boots on the ground. I run into a lot of stories that can be put in it.
Yeah.
But we also optioned a book. It's called The Bishop's Boys by Tom Crouch.
I know Tom.
Yep. Tom's awesome.
Yeah.
Great book. A lot of stuff in there that you just can't get with David's book.
Yeah.
And as a filmmaker and a writer, you're looking for really cool stuff to pull forward. Then he has language in there from interviews, and those things really can make the story better. And that's
the difference between those two books, because I'm familiar with both of those books. I've read both of them. The David McCullough book is a great book, but it's sort of the pop story. It's sort of the overall kind of thing. Tom Crouch's book, there's some I mean, I got to be honest, there's some dense parts in there when they're talking about the legal battles that the Wright brothers had with the Smithsonian, with other people around the world who were, questioning their claim as being the first and all those different things. But it really does tell the story about Orville and Wilbur.
It's important to know that the family itself, they were all studs. It was a very prominent American family. That's really what the story is about. Take Flight out of it, but these were really good, smart people.
Yeah.
And the brothers obviously get a lot of the credit and the fame because it's two brothers, obviously, and everything. But, their sister, Catherine, really makes the whole operation go.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she is in there working day to day. She's talking to people. She's more of the life of the party, where they're thinkers, quiet.
Right.
And their mother, Susan, was really the engineer of the family. She's the one that taught the boys how to do things and how to fix things. And then their father, Milton, was actually a preacher, and he was very high up into the religious world at that time, and very well thought of as well. And so when you add those people, and then you add in, and most people forget this, there's a guy from Dayton called Paul Lawrence Dunbar. And we're on the radio, but he would be a black guy, right?
Yeah.
And he was literally Orville's best friend. They had gone to school together. They were best friends. And they loved that guy so much that they printed his first copies of his newsletter when he wanted to make something, and they offered to print it for free. And, and that was a monumental
at that time.
That was crazy, right? Yeah. So there's a lot to be proud about this story. And, when you think about what film does to communities, and this is why people need to log in, help support it. We're obviously raising money to get us to go around and fly around to, and I'll tell you, we have Delta as a partner, but that means now we need to go see American Express and GE and other people. Well, that costs money. That's really what we need, right? So to drive all that, though, when you really look at it, this film is like, think of Shawshank Redemption, right? In Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've got a prison that they made it at, and they had Malabar Farms where they come out at the end and they grab the rocks underneath the big tree.
Right.
Between those two assets that they filmed at, over all this time, the tourism has generated over $200 million for that town.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But think about our town. We have 10 times that stuff here. We have the Air Force Museum, the state parks, Carillon Park. We've got Huffman Prairie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much here. And then I was just with Keith Klein today from the city, and he's one of the development directors down there. And we were down looking at the old factories that burned up. And I was trying to see how could we use them for the movie. And so he offered to have me down and take a look at them.
Yeah.
But again, if we could fix that up, I mean, that's what the movie would help do. It would help bring people into our town. It would put them in hotels and eat at restaurants. And
well, it's just a nice, that is the jewel in our crown here, is what the Wright brothers gave to the world, and that it all started right here. And even Tom Crouch talks about the fact that Kitty Hawk likes to take, North Carolina likes to take credit for the Wright brothers. It's even on their quarter,
it is,
and
they have a nice license plate,
and they've
outmarketed us. That's what they've done.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think we're doing better now than what we used to, but if they lived in North Carolina, like if they grew up in North Carolina, it never would have happened, because that was not an industrial part of the United States. Dayton, Ohio at that time was a massive industrial center, and they had access, the Wright brothers had access to all the tools, all the parts and the pieces and the wood and the engineering to do it. North Carolina had the wind and a soft landing. That's what it was.
But we all have to, and I've decided this, not because I think people from Ohio were competitive, right?
Yeah.
So we're always like, yeah, North Carolina, whatever, like we it's Ohio against the world, these statements. But I really think at the end of the day, we should all boats are going to rise together here,
I agree. Yeah,
because we need to work with them. It's a big part of the story. And, we want them to work with us and have that, no political divide, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So, but in the end, I agree with you. People need to see what the Wright brothers had to do, because when you have a big flying machine like that, it goes into a huge crate. And if you have to get all the way to Kitty Hawk and in Kilverdale's Hills over there, I mean, you're really like, you're not shipping that by UPS or FedEx back then.
Yeah.
So how did they do that? What did that look like? Right.
Yeah.
So you have to really, that's what the movie's designed to do. You're designed to see all the things in how they did it and what obstacles they went through to get that machine to what it became. Right. I mean, think about how much time they've saved everyone around the world many times over.
Oh yeah. And all the technology that has come from just the exploration of flight, whether it be with jet engines and rockets to the moon, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, our local guy here, Larry Connor, I mean, he went all the way to the International Space Station, paid $55 million. He's the furthest guy from planet Earth almost. Right. I mean, that's crazy, right? It can be done. And if you think back to flying a kite to that in less than 125 years, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
And the fact you can get Wi-Fi on an airplane, let's be honest. Right. At 500 mile an hour, and it's working pretty good these days. It's impressive what's going on.
Have you been working on a script at all?
Yeah, I'm really far along in that, actually.
Okay.
So yes, you need something to work off of and get people excited.
Yeah. So
we've been working on that.
When you were here before talking about the Dayton Triangles documentary and story, the movie that you did, you kind of mentioned as we were walking out, you were talking about the Wright brothers, and I said, man, can I have a small role? Can I have a small role? And you said, yeah, we can make that happen. So I have two ideas as far as what role I could be. And I feel like you might be open to these.
Okay, let's go for it.
The first one is pretty obvious. John Green.
Okay.
From the Green and Green Company, who invented the Cheez-It.
Right.
I know that Orville was friends with John Green. They lived across the street from each other in Oakwood.
Yeah, you're correct, actually. Yeah.
Because people know me as the Cheez-It guy.
Well, no, and I think that was key. I want to hear the second one, but I'm already leaning.
The second one is John T. Daniels.
Another good one, yeah.
He's the guy that took the famous photo of the first flight there at Kill Devil Hills.
Yeah.
So I think I could play one, or hey, what if I did two? What if I did both of them?
Well, you got a beard. We could take that off.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Double cameo. Will we get the same price for you for two parts?
Dude, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
We might have to do this.
I just want free access to the craft services.
You'll have unlimited
Cheez-Its.
Yeah. But that's the thing about taking the photo down there, right? The most famous photo in the world, probably a photography.
Yeah.
And when you look at that, when that happens and the brothers walked back and said, hey, did you get it? He obviously wasn't a photographer.
He was
just there to squeeze the bulb if the thing came off the ground.
Yeah.
And they came back and they said, did you squeeze the bulb? He goes, I don't know if I did or not, because I was freaked out. So, so it wasn't like they could run down to the local Walgreens store and develop that, right?
That's right.
They had to bring it all the way back, develop it. Yeah. So,
well, Alan, I got to fly here, but I really appreciate you being on the show, and we'll stay in touch. And the closer you get to the project, please come back and we'll chat more about it. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me update it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Alan.
Sir, please identify yourself.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst.
Well, who is this guy and where did he come from?
Maybe he escaped from the circus.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I mean, this guy is something else.
Just for you. Keep listening to the radio.
On WHIO.